Hey guys, I'm back. I am back. I'm happy to be back.
Oh,
Even
come on. It was a little chilly over there, right? It was
oh my
kind
goodness.
of
Oh my
cool.
God. It was so cold over there. I forgot to bring my jacket. I was like wearing my hoodie and it was just I couldn't believe how cold it was over there, man. I couldn't believe it.
It was way down to like 106 with
It was
90% humidity.
106, sometimes 110. I walk around, my shirt is drenched. I got like a sweat stain on my chest. People think I'm like hyperventilating, like something's going on with me. I'm about to like fall down on the concrete or something. Yeah, it was hot. It was hot. Hong Kong was hot. Penang was
Oh,
okay. Bangkok was hot, but wasn't as hot. But China was hot. China was really hot. And Shanghai was really hot. And we went to some tourist areas. It's like wall to wall people. And man, but it was so great to visit some of these places. We went to like an old village, and like life in the 1800s in China. You could see the village like that, and it was just like, but it was so hot to be there. And then we went to this huge lake, and it was ridiculously hot. And
I'll
then
bet.
we spent a couple of days in Shanghai, and then we came back to Jihoi, which is the area which is closest to Hong Kong. And I took a side trip to Macau by myself, and I spent a night in Macau. So and then next day I went back to Hong Kong and took the flight back to the U.S. But that was like 28 days, So it
So
was
I'm sorry, what's Macau?
Macau. So Macau is a special territory that used to belong to Portugal. Okay. And so
Mm,
Hong Kong was under British control,
mm.
and it was handed back in like 1999 or 1989, something like that, or 1997, one of those things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Macau was also handed back to China. But these two areas are like special territories that are under Chinese control, but they're still operating as if they were partially under British rule for Hong Kong and partially under uh, Portuguese rule. So you don't need a visa to go into Hong Kong, even though it's part of China, and you don't need a visa to go into Macau, even though it's part of China. You know, and if you go into Macau, it's just an island. It's just an island, okay?
Oh, okay. That's what I was
And
kind of
it's,
wondering. Is that just an island and Hong
yeah,
Kong is an island,
it's
right?
an island. Yeah. So these were the major ports back in like the 16, 1700s. And so, the European nations controlled these islands and used it as their ports to do trade. And then eventually the trade got so big that, they controlled the island, and then they made it into the like, the stock market exists in Hong Kong, it's so big, you know. And but Macau is mostly known for like gambling. So you go in there and
Ah,
you'll see like the Sands Casino in there. You'll see, like, yeah, you'll see all kinds of different casinos in there. And that's what mostly it was like one of the places where the people who had money would go in there and party and go to casino. But then when I went in there, you just saw busloads, busloads of Chinese people going in to gamble, because Chinese people love to gamble. Okay. And so I went in there just to say, like, hey, this is off my list of places I want to check out. I had some really good food. They have something there called a po tart, which is like the Chinese egg tart, but the Portuguese version, which is kind of like caramelized on top. And man, I love it. They baked it to the order. And so I was sitting in the restaurant. I waited like 25, 30 minutes for it. And when it came out piping hot, man, I couldn't believe how good it was. So yeah, I mean, if you saw some of my photos, I got tons of photos that I didn't post of all the food I ate. It was really like, I can't believe I didn't gain like 40 pounds or something. But it must have been all that walking on 110-degree heat or something.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, hey, it's only 106 and 90%
Oh,
humidity.
and it,
Let's go outside and let's spend like 6 or 7 hours walking around town. Oh, and by the way, it's like this because there's 500 billion
oh,
people in the street.
you know what's the grossest thing? So one day we're walking from in the night market, and it was so jam packed, right? And then this guy's arm like touched my arm, and it was just all sweaty, and my arm was all
Oh,
sweaty, and it was just like shit, like Jesus. Yeah, yeah.
oh, I want to know what kind of knife did you carry? When
I
you
did
were
not
out.
carry one knife at all. I did not even bring a knife except for my cousin who said like, "Hey, I want one of your knives." So I brought it to him like new and packaged. I didn't even open it because I know the rules over there. Don't
Oh yeah.
don't even mess around because if the cops catch you with a knife, it's no bueno, man. It is a no bueno moment. So
Yeah.
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 Do,
Yeah.
do not
Uh,
walk around anywhere there with a knife.
I
But the
just thought
thing is
I'd
this, the
throw
thing
that
is
out.
this, the whole time I was there, I did not get any feeling like someone was going to steal my phone. And I had my phone up the whole time looking for directions on Google Maps where I could get it. I was
Hmm.
ordering cabs using Grab. That's an app like Uber over in Southeast Asia. There was nothing that made me think like someone's going to run up to me and grab my phone and then run off. I felt at ease the whole time. And it's because if you do something stupid like that and the cops catch you, they will beat the living shit out of you. All right. And then throw your ass in prison.
Oh, that is brutality. Brutality, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can cry all you want. They're still going to beat your ass for doing something stupid. But yeah, I mean, the whole time, I mean, especially in China, listen, when you go into China, as soon as you step out anywhere, you get like all these cameras taking pictures of you, right? So they already know where you're at, right? And so it's
I,
just like, go and enjoy life. Just don't go and do like, and the thing is, if you steal someone else's phone, they just have to like deactivate it and that's it. Then it's no good. You just have a pocket brick on your hands then, so nobody's gonna go around taking your phone then. you know. Now, will they take cash from you if they could? Probably, But most of the time now, like in China, it's a cashless society. So everything is paid for with either Alipay or WeChat Pay. And so I
got it.
I activated my WeChat Pay. It could be something as cheap as like $1 you pay with your WeChat app, you know. It could be something like you're buying a piece of candy pay with your WeChat app. And that's so trusted that most of the merchants, and these are like mom and pop stores. These are not like big chain stores. These are mom and pop stores that are like on like sometimes even street vendors. They'll have their own QR code with WeChat or Alipay on it, and then
Oh, you just scan it and
you
hit that
scan it
thing.
and then you pay for it, or if you go to a store, they have like a little reader, and then you have like your QR code, and then you put it on top of the reader, and it scan and charges your card right there, you know. And so no, you don't even need to carry a credit card in China, you know. And so like I made
That's
sure
all
to
coming off your phone.
it's coming off my phone. So before I went, I made sure to set up. I have a Samsung phone, so I set up my Samsung Pay. So I have my Costco credit card in there because Costco is like it doesn't charge you any international exchange rates, and I have my American Express in there because it's the same thing. It doesn't charge you any international exchange rates, and so and then all my rideshare apps has my credit card in there already. So I set all that up already. So when I needed to pay for something, I just use my phone to pay for it. And even like when I was in Bangkok taking the subway, the metro, right? You go in and you open up your Samsung Pay, and then you tap the reader, and it charges your ride for you to go on the train through your phone. And they make it so cheap. It was 89 cents because I could see like how much my from the Costco app, like the city app, like how much the train ride was. 89 cents to go on the train. And you're like, that's fucking ridiculous how cheap it is. It is just like ridiculous. And then like even taking cabs because there was five of us, it was like maybe 5, $6 every time. Sometimes it was maybe like 9, $10 if we were going a longer distance, but it was really affordable. So
5 or 10 per person for 5 people, or 5 or 10 total.
5 or 10
So
total,
$1 a person.
for the whole ride.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's not, they don't count it per person, but on the train, and so I made sure like you don't have to buy like the tickets on the train. You can just carry a physical Visa card and then tap it too if you don't want to use your
Ah,
phone.
okay. That's
So
what I do around here. I just tap.
yeah, yeah, and so they did all that for the train system and made it like super fast for you to go in and out. You know, so yeah, I mean that's a lot of things that because you don't need to carry your wallet anymore over there. So everything is on your phone, you know, and it's crazy.
Including your ID and all that shit.
Well, in China, they have a credit card size ID that they get once they're like an adult, and that thing reads everything, like you can go to the doctor's office with it. You can go to like when you go to the airport, it reads the card. So I brought my passport, and so I carried my passport with me everywhere in like a plastic bag, so because I didn't want to get it wet because I was sweating profusely. And so I carry my passport with me everywhere, but all they do is carry this little credit card, and it reads everything, and it has like so they can go to the hospital, they'll have that card. They can go on their flights, and all they do is carry that card up with them, and that's it. And if they need to pay for everything, 99% of the time they just pay with Alipay or WeChat Pay, and it's yeah, so it's pretty convenient, pretty convenient. And like when they park in a parking lot, they have a QR code. So they don't have like a machine where you pay for stuff. They have a QR code, and you scan the QR code, and then you go pay for it with your WeChat Pay in your car, and then you just drive right off. So you don't have to like line up in a machine, or there's no person at the thing that goes up and down. You know, and once they see that your card is paid, they just open it up and then you just keep going. So there's a lot of stuff that's really interesting there that I was like, huh, that saves a lot of time. You know, so I can only imagine like in the next few years, like how it would be and stuff like that. Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, but it was nice. I was kind of scared to go for like this much time, but I'm so glad I went. I mean, the amount of family members that came out to visit us, and when we were in Penang and stuff like that. People came from one of my cousins came from Singapore and from Kuala Lumpur. Two of my cousins came up from there, and then one of my cousins and his wife went to Hong Kong and meet up with us and everything. So it was a really nice trip. And then, yeah, and then David took me everywhere when I was in China. So it was a fun time, very, very fun time. And of course, I got to eat like a king, so I can't complain. You know me, I'm all about the food. So,
Hmm. I'd be in prison. I'd be in a Chinese prison because, or if I ever made it out of Thailand or freaking Malaysia.
dude,
I mean, because
you can't
I would be
imagine.
drinking at every bar, and
You can't
I'd be wearing my
imagine.
MAGA hat or something. There you go, bitches.
First of all, most of them are capitalists, okay? So you can wear your MAGA hat and they'll be like, yeah, Donald Trump, okay? And the thing is, you can't imagine how many expats are over there. Expats,
Oh, yeah, that's
expats
right here.
from everywhere, everywhere around the world are over in Southeast Asia. Some of them are just doing it for like a vacation like I was, and some of them actually live there, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
We were looking into it. I mean, we were going, if it gets bad enough here, there's got to be a place. And we were talking about Asia because the cost is so low if you move into like Malaysia or Thailand or different places like that. And yeah, I mean, you can go on YouTube and other blogs where there's
right,
expats that are living
right,
over there,
right,
and they go, "Oh my God!" I mean, you can rent like a luxury high-rise condo for like $30 a night, something
right.
like that. I mean, just incredibly low prices.
Yeah, yeah.
You
And
just
if
like,
you're not like a fancy guy, like you don't need like the top of
yeah,
luxury or some shit like that. Like we were all in the cities, right? And like I don't particularly like living in the city. You know, if I was going to live in a place, I would rather live on the outskirts of the city or even in a very like, you know, rural, maybe more of a country area. Just like I am here in Florida, I'm not in a city. I'm more in like the like a small city, you know, because I don't like big cities. I like places where it's like, like not a lot of people, right? And if you go to places like that, man, I'll tell you what, it's gonna be way cheaper than the big cities. Okay, like what we spent in like Penang, and Penang is cheap. I mean, if we went to the countryside, it'll be at least half of that cost. Okay, same thing with Bangkok. Bangkok is a big city, and the prices are going to be charged because there's so much tourists. There's so many tourists willing to pay that money. But if you go outside of there, there isn't going to be that that much tourism. So it's going to be more for the locals, and so they will pay the local prices. You know, I mean, it's not going to be like that in Hong Kong because Hong Kong is a very small island and it's all developed. It's mostly all developed already. But yeah, I mean, if you guys went around, like I've been talking to a few of my friends who want to live over there, and they're like, man, you know what? I could buy an apartment in Thailand for like $200,000. I'm like, why would you want to? You know, because right now with like long-term stay in hotels or Airbnbs, you can go check out different neighborhoods and see which neighborhood really fits you, before you actually like go and buy something. And then if you really do plan to stay there, then go and look for an investment property or something like that. But you may not want to stay there the whole year, you know?
mhm,
So
mhm.
like, keep your options open. Like if I was just going to be there for a week, I'll just go to a hotel. Also go, and then if I see an area that I like, that I want to be there for like 3, 4, 5, 6 months, then I'll go look for a long-term stay, and stuff like that. And a lot of places, even if it's short-term, they will extend the long-term stay if they see that you're serious. So yeah, I mean, it's a great, place. And I would like to explore some of the other places like the Philippines and Vietnam, you know, in the next few years and stuff like that.
It's interesting to watch House Hunters International, because we'll watch that sometimes just as kind of the turn down for the evening. And
I love that
I mean,
show.
it'll always be some guy and his girlfriend, and they've been traveling the world, and they decided they wanted to live in Vietnam or something. So they're
Right,
in Ho Chi Minh City or whatever,
right,
and then they decide. I mean, and the realtor asks them like, "What's your budget?" And they're going 175 a month, no more than 200. It's like, what? You what? You could. I wouldn't rent you the trunk of my car. What are you doing? And they go, well, it's gonna be tough. And so the realtor takes them and shows them a place, and they go, how much is this? And it's like, it's $275 a month, and it's got a workout center, it's got a swimming pool, it's got like,
It's like a
and they're
gym,
going, oh, that's just too high, that's way above our budget. And it's like, what are you guys doing for a living? I mean, and they go over there to teach or something. I
Right.
don't know. I
So,
mean,
so I actually met this
I go,
husband and wife
what
couple.
do they got for 2,000 a month? Jesus.
Yeah,
I'd be
they
like
got like a masseuse coming to your
half the
house
city.
twice a week. They got like a home cook and a cleaner to come over and clean up your place for you. You know,
Woo.
so a couple of
Oh,
years ago, this couple came up to my table at Blade Show, and they live here locally in my town. Like they live in around Palm Bay,
Palm Bay. Yeah.
and they were like teachers in Vietnam. They were teaching English, and they were like the world travelers, right? Because here it is, this young couple
Uh,
in their 20s, and they're like, and they sort of gave me like the clue of like how they travel. They went on to like Google Flights on incognito mode, and they checked out all the flights, and they would just take a backpack and go away for the weekend to like this area here and this area here. But they stayed in Vietnam because they liked Vietnam so much. And so I was like, oh man. So, from time to time, when they're back in town, we would meet up for lunch. And right now, I think they're in Poland because they're going to be in Europe for a little while. But yeah, I mean, there are people doing this stuff, and they're young enough. They don't have any kids yet. So I'm like, yeah, smart. You're doing this while you don't have kids. So once you have kids, it's going to be a little bit harder. But yeah, there are a lot of expats over there traveling, enjoying their life. And the thing is like how we travel in the US. Let's say I was taking a flight to Atlanta. Usually the flight to Atlanta is only like $100, right? Well, it's almost like the same thing in Southeast Asia. If you're in Vietnam and you want to go to like Bangkok, you could probably catch like $150 flight or $200 flight, or maybe sometimes even cheaper, on like those sales and stuff like that. And so that's what I did because like when I booked my trip, I I landed in Hong Kong, and then I took another trip to Penang, and then I took another trip to Bangkok, and I took another trip back to Hong Kong. And so I paid for all those flights, but they were only like 150 to 350, you know? So like the major ticket is price is going to be from coming from here, going over there, and then coming back. But once you're over there, you can do all the little side trips, and spend a couple of days here, spend a week there, and really explore, you know, and try to pack as light as possible. I mean, I brought way too much clothing, even though I brought like minimal clothing, it was still way too much. And when you're going over there, you no longer need to bring like a toothbrush, toothpaste, shampoo anymore, because all that is provided for you in the hotels, so you don't have to worry about bringing that stuff. Just like someone, I brought my clippers, obviously, because I got to shave my head twice a week. I brought my shavers, but beyond that, you don't have to bring that much toiletries, And then we stayed at places that had a washer, but when you walk in the street, there are laundromats that will wash your clothes, fold it, and give it back to you, you know?
oh
So,
wow.
yeah. So you don't have to like
Right there in
work.
the street. I mean, right outside the urinal. They got plenty of water coming through there, and
Yeah.
oh,
And
oh,
they use
oh.
your urine to do it for you.
Ah, there you go. And the joke's on you, buddy. Joke's on you. That's right. Hold on. Can you wash my shorts? I got to piss really bad. I'll be right back.
No, but the
Well,
thing is, it's
that's
so.
what you get for eating all those squid heads
Oh
and
man, so
pickled chicken eggs that have been buried in the ground for 2 months. And
that's delicious. Those are 10,000 eggs, man. Those are delicious.
hey,
I have packs of that in my fridge. You know.
I saw you post those pictures, and I go, "That's bullshit. That son of a bitch would never eat anything like that. There's
Well,
no way. He's
well,
just doing
so
it to get everybody."
I
toasted
didn't
up.
eat the scorpions or the lava or any of the of those bugs, but I did eat the baby snakes. I mean, the fried baby snakes were delicious. I mean, they
Mm.
were delicious. I mean, they served it with like a little bit of like a chili and like stir fried pepper, and it was really. I mean, it was crunchy and it was had a little bit. It was salty and chili, and it was just like awesome, awesome snack. Yeah, I
I'll
could
pass.
I could eat that any day. You know, well,
Ugh.
the thing is, anything deep fried is kind of good, right? I mean, it doesn't matter what it is if it's deep fried. You know, so yeah.
As long as you know what? If I was blindfolded, I'd probably like a bunch of this stuff. It's just the thought of it. It just, and you know what? We got beef here in America. Okay? We got beef, we got hogs and shit. So
Well,
we don't
beef is,
need to eat that
the thing is,
garbage.
the one thing I missed the most over there was like there was only one time like when I went to this high end buffet in Bangkok that I had like a steak because the rest of the time we didn't actually have a steak. We had beef, but we wasn't like like you'll get like a ribeye
Mhm.
over here or something. So the first thing I pulled out of my freezer was a couple of ribeyes for me to cook up when I got home. You
When
know,
you got home, yeah, no shit.
so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
but
lots of chicken, lots of pork over there, yeah, and
I
lots
mean,
of
listen,
seafood.
almost every place you go to will have fried chicken. Okay, and Southeast Asia is no different. You go anywhere in Southeast Asia, there's gonna be fried chicken.
Oh,
So
I've seen it in a lot of Asian restaurants in the United States.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and so they deep fry a bunch of stuff, and the worst for you the fried breads. I mean, oh my god, they love to fry breads, and man, I love fried
But
breads
it's
too.
good.
Yeah, yeah. So ah, I miss it. I miss it already. Okay, I'm gonna go back.
Well, I mean, Roseanne, I didn't care, but Roseanne was really hurt that you didn't invite her along. She goes, I want to escape with.
You know what? If Roseanne wants to do anywhere from 15 to 18,000 steps a day, she's more than welcome to come. Yeah.
Whew, I buy her the Fitbit. There you go, honey. Have a good time. 106 degrees, 90% humidity. Start
And,
walking.
and that's the thing. Like, I mean, you better not be wearing like just a thick cotton shirt or something. You better bring some quick, dry stuff with you because you're going to be
Yeah.
sweating. You're going to be sweating, you
Well,
know?
that's what I look for down here. I mean, when I'm in a store or something and I look at a T-shirt or something, if it's one of these thick normal T-shirts, it's like I don't like that shit no more. I mean, it's just too.
You can't
That's
do it.
winter clothes, you know.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't do it.
this. I want this real. And then the stuff that the fishermen wear when they go out deep sea fishing,
Oh,
but
yeah,
they
yeah,
wear
yeah.
the long sleeve and they also have a hood thing that maybe
Right.
goes over their head because they're in full sunlight all the time and they got to have something to stop the sun. But
Yeah.
it's real lightweight synthetic stretchy stuff that
Yep.
dries out real quick.
Yep. Yep.
And I think the golfers wear that kind of stuff too.
I brought some of that, and trust me, I'm gonna send you a picture later. You still see the big old sweat stain on my chest in some of these pictures. You're gonna be like, "Where the hell was he?" Yeah, it's like 106.
Oh,
Dude.
that's
Because of
okay
sweat.
because just this last weekend we went over to Punta Gorda and at the Four Points Resort, and they got a huge tiki setup. Okay, and then they had a rock band playing and all this shit. But that tiki setup was enough to hold several hundred people or whatever.
Wow.
Big, huge thing. Big, huge, big screen TVs all the way around and fans and stuff. But still, it was like 92, 94 degrees and 80%
Right.
humidity. And I'll tell you what, it was some suffering. We got there about 4. And from 4 to 6 was pretty tough. And I finally caught a second wind at about 6:30. And we were out there till like 9. And that was 5 hours of a long time, even though we were in the shade and there was some kind of breeze. Um, I can only imagine being in Asia
Right.
in full sun, 106 and 90%, 80% humidity. That's got to be. Yeah, I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't.
It was, and the other thing was, it was just wall to wall people. And so, like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
couldn't really walk really fast because there were like so many people in front of you, right? And then there'll be people who try to like zigzag all around you and stuff like that, and you're just like it kind of made you like a little irritated because you're hot, so you're kind of like flustered already, and then you're like, oh my god, was this like the best idea to come out here at this time, you know?
yeah,
But
yeah. Yeah, and you know what? That would kind of play with my head after a while. Where was it that we were? Oh, well, the next day we go over to First Watch because she had buy one get one because of her birthday, and so we go to First Watch, which is big for breakfast and
yeah,
whatever, and it's a little too foofy for me, but I mean it was for her anyhow. But there were people crowded around First Watch, and there was a big Starbucks that was attached to that, and it was in a big shopping center there in Port Charlotte, and it was just cars swarming through and people all around, and it was like I got to the point I go, I don't like this. I can get to a situation where just too many people is too many people, and
right.
it overloads me. Even like a SHOT Show or
Yeah,
something like that. Just there's people swarming around me and going around and all over, and you're bumping into people, you can't turn around. And it's like after a while, I just like I gotta go out in the hallway. I
yeah,
gotta just like ah, I
yeah.
gotta
I hear that because that's how I felt, and it was just like, oh my god. And then like the for like it was like the holiday weekend, and so like even David was like, there's a lot of people, but it wasn't as much people as like the last time he was there because he was there like during like some kind of the New Year's, and it was like everybody was off. So everybody went to these tourist areas, and he
mm,
showed me a picture of the street. There was like no empty spots on the street. It was all like jam packed full of people. So it was just like, yeah, this is nothing.
well, get ready. I mean, there's a high density population in Asia. And of course, I mean, China alone, but I mean, and are there areas where they're very sparse? Yeah, but that's not where you're going to be
That's
because you're
that's
going to
not
be where
where.
the population centers are.
So that's like the center of China, where it's like really like mountainous terrains, and like there's even like a little desert over there. So you're not gonna
Hmm.
find a lot of people there. All the most of the populations, is along the coastline, just like here in the U.S. The
Hmm.
east and west coast. That's where most of the population is. They're not. Most of it is not in the center of the country, because everything is along the coastline, and so it's the same all around the world. So even in like in different parts of Thailand, I'm sure if I went to like a mountainous area, it's not going to be so jam packed like Bangkok is. you know but yeah, but most of the time when you're going to fly into the city, and then you have to actively want to go somewhere else that isn't so densely populated. you know yeah.
You want to give something away?
You have to announce the previous winner.
I know. And the previous winner and he doesn't even know it yet. He doesn't know
Ooh,
it, but
ooh.
now he will. It is Godby, Colin Godby. Okay, 3737. Okay, I knew I want an armload of Riot knives too. But this is the last podcast I did. You were gone, and I just said I told Leon just grab a whole armload when he was over there of Riot knives. Did you? Of course not. Of course you didn't.
You know
Wow.
what's funny about that? So when I was in the factory, like they had like these drawers, and I was opening up all the drawers, and holy cow, to see they have made a lot of knives for a lot of different people. And
Oh shit! How much are they OEMing? I mean, how many hundred
I
people?
mean, so I was looking at these knives, I was like, oh, I know that one. Oh, I know that one. I know that one. I know that one. And I was just like, man, they are doing a lot of work for a lot of different people, you know.
Are they OEMing anybody but Americans? I mean, are they doing OEMing any for like individual designers in Poland or
I'm
Bulgaria
sure
or
that
Italy
I'm
or
sure there is. I mean, because it would be true like a dealer or over here. So I saw like a Marston's
I
collab. Did
drink?
you spill something on yourself?
I just dumped Gatorade
Yeah.
on me.
Oh, nice. I saw like a Marston's collab, but for a dealer, and then I saw like of course they do work for Giant Mouse and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
there are guys in Europe that they're doing stuff for, and I'm sure there are others that I may not know the name of, but man, I was there for like 2 3 days, just going through all the bins, going through all the drawers. I was like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's nice.
you know,
Oh, okay.
I haven't I haven't kept up with the Italians, the MKM group and stuff, and I didn't know that they were involved with Riot. But I knew that they had some knives that were made in China. I just didn't know it was Riot. But I
You
knew
know,
they did have some. Yeah.
this is going to be like this is a global industry, right? So, and the thing is, they're going to be guys who do things, and if they find someone else who could do it better at a great price, why not? You know, and that's really like the whole premise of it is to, you know, just to find people who could produce what you want them to produce, and at the same time be able to produce at a great price for you is really, what most companies are striving for, right?
Hmm.
And if they can keep the quality the way that you want it to, yeah, why not? You know, that's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that there's a lot of enthusiasts going, I want only knives made in Italy. Like there are in the USA. There's guys, I only want knives that are made in the USA. But if you think like a businessman, which is the reason everything in that as a consumer, you go into any store, everything's from China or parts of it are there, is because business thinks like business, which is if I can get the same quality for a lower cost, I have higher profits. Or I can be more competitive on my pricing than I
Right.
already am, and I can capture a larger part of the market or whatever. But then, yes, on the flip side, it is a race to the bottom. Who can be the cheapest? And then at some point in time, it's got to stop because quality suffers and that kind of thing. So I
Well,
think we're seeing.
there's no right answer, right? So
Yeah,
it
yes.
really depends on the buyer, and the buyer is going to dictate the market. So the thing is, we're both in this business, and the majority of products that are sold, they're not like the super high end knives, right? So, wherever you go, unless it's at a knife show, you don't really see other people carrying a high end knife in public, right? They're not carrying like a
No,
500 or $1,000 knife, or even
no.
some of the brands that you think are like, oh my God, this brand is so popular, and they sell so many knives. But in the reality of things, who sells the most knives? Walmart. Walmart sells a shit ton of knives. Okay.
Oh, and who was that that just came out with that? Was it Seth that said that We Knives that Civivi will now be available at Walmart? That's
Right.
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 Did you
Yeah,
see that? Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so they're going big box. Wow, you're going to have a lot of numbers in production to do that. But yes, and of course, some other brands have gone with like Lowe's or gone with other big box
right.
stores to put
Yeah,
their knives in
yeah.
there.
And then Amazon sells a lot of knives, you
Yeah,
know. And then the number one brand that sells a lot of knives is probably Gerber, right? You know, they
yeah,
move a lot
and
of product.
yeah,
So
and
it's like,
yeah, that drives me crazy because Gerber, I remember back in the 1980s, the BMF and all the stuff, and Gerber had like really good quality. I mean, that was what people thought was awesome. And of course, when Almar went to work, in fact, I got to send this out to my to Phobos Knives to Eric. We were talking about Al, but Almar went to work for Gerber
right.
and thus came the Silver Knight. But I mean, when he got out of Special Forces, I think when he got out of Nam, I think he was a diver up in Alaska for a while. He went to work
Hmm.
for Gerber, eventually rolled out of Gerber, and I think he started out in another division. Then he went into their knife division, and then he did his own company, and he did, and then he kind of died at a young age. But yeah,
Yeah. And
so
you know now who owns Almar Knives?
no,
So a friend of mine who's a dealer was telling me about this. It is a car group. A car
oh,
group owns Almar Knives, and they bought it because it has been around for so many years, and just to extend their portfolio. And at this point in time, they sell more Almar knives than the history of all Almar knives have ever sold because they could finally get the quantities, you know.
yeah, made in China, yeah.
And it's made in China because they can produce the quantities that they wanted, you know.
I haven't bought an Almar knife. I haven't even had my hands on an Almar knife of current production. And well, I know I have. There's been a couple that I had my hands on, and I couldn't hardly sell them. I mean, nobody wanted to buy them, and they were supposedly like D2 blades and stuff. I didn't think they were that horrible, but I couldn't hardly give them away, and that's really sad because the original Almar knives that were made while Al was alive, holy shit, you can't buy one. I mean, you can buy one, but you gonna bleed a lot of dollars to do it.
Right.
I
I
mean,
I
and I
I,
was,
I
yeah,
I remember seeing them like, okay, this is going back like 30 years, okay? So after college, I went to Southeast Asia and I was just happened to be walking around this mall, right? But for some reason, there was like a knife store in there, and I went in to check it out, and they had these like Almar, like huge fixed blades, right? That he was known for his fixed blades. And I was looking, and I was like, holy cow, you got Almar fixed blades here in this mall? I mean, that is like ridiculous. Yeah, yeah. And it
like
was
the
just like,
Sear Group or the
yeah. And it
SL
was just
Ford.
like, what the? And this is, of course, I couldn't buy them at the time. Yeah, and it was just
Yeah,
like,
baby, I'll take one of each. Thank you. Oh
but
my God.
just recognizing the logo and then looking at them and then see what they are, you're like, wow, yeah, like that Bowie, they had one.
Presidential
With,
buoy. I
yep.
had one. I had one. This was given to Bush Senior at the Gulf War time. Okay,
Wow,
so the early '90s. Wow. I had so many of them. Oh my God. How
man,
much
this
money
brings
they'd
back
be
memories.
worth.
I mean, all the knives that I've handled and seen and stuff, you're like, wow. And to think, I mean, that was like 30 years ago, you know.
I know. Oh God. Okay, so what did he win? Colin Goolsby or whatever. Colin. Yeah, shut up. Colin Godby. Okay, 37-37. You want to have, dang it. And then you got glow in the dark sticker koozie, and then you got the Shanzu knife. And if you want to see it, look at the last one that I did, the last podcast, and then the Bama Zao, which will be easier enough to. And it's in here, Bama Zao knife, which is interesting. I've had it for years and stuff. And then also the Gerber. Speaking of Gerber, junk, and also you got you got actually a Spidey Endura.
What?
Okay.
You got a Spidey and
Yeah.
Dora?
Yep. Hey, we give away good shit, man. So that'll be you. You claim your prize, Colin, and for you guys watching, ain't nobody watching anymore. Okay, you get a Concept bag, tote bag. Hey, it's got the thing on both sides. See, that's why I have the UFO rising up in the air on one of my intros, is because I know that UFOs were the ones that left knives on this planet to start with. And then it's this one. It's Blade
Blade Bend.
Binge. Blade Binge. Blade Binge hat. You know, Blade Binge. That's a site where you go and you buy, sell, trade knives. And of course, I have a site, but whatever. But I got the hat for free from another guy. So, okay. And then a koozie with, and then this is a wee knife little thing with stickers, stuff, and I think a little keychain multi-tool in a box. Okay. So you get that, and then you get this one, which is a brand new one from Selena's son, Lucas, called the Mantidae, which is the mantis. The mantis. Ostapel helped him out with the design, and so this is the Mantidae Best Tech. Okay, and then you also get. Speaking of don't horse around, the horse. Woo! Ooh, Sativian. Wow, they're backed up on this one. Okay, this is a horse. And wow, I was trying to finger flick that. Okay, it's got some detent to it.
What is the handle
It's
material on that thing? It looks like an eye.
it's G10,
Okay.
but it does, doesn't it?
That's different. It looks like
But
an
they've
eye in
got
a
a.
pivot.
Is it? Where's the horse? The horse on the back, or the horse on the front? The horse is on the back, I think. You can kind of see the horse right there.
Is it called
But,
a
okay,
horse?
the horse, and and then you get this, which is a knife from these guys, which actually is not a bad little knife.
Hey.
Nice little flickable, carryable knife. Okay, and then you get that, and then you get one more thing, which is the Convoy flashlight. This in here, let me pull this out, is the Convoy rechargeable flashlight. Okay, it's a Convoy, and it's you'll have to read the model number down here, and then you can just type it in and find it online, and you can get the whole, instructions, because I don't see any instructions in here. And it does come with these two little things right here. That way you can put an 1850, whatever it is, battery, right? 1860, is that what it is? 18650 battery in there, as opposed to the battery that goes in here, because the battery that goes in here is that big rechargeable that's the size of a D cell battery, okay? And I can't remember the size of it, but it's available at anywhere, Battery Junction, whatever. But you can get that, and you have to have a charger to charge it up. Now, there's this charger that goes with it, and this flashlight is some years old. It's never been used, but this thing pops over the head, snaps on, plug it in, and you can recharge the battery while it's in the flashlight. or just take the battery out, recharge it, whatever you want to do. And
Dang,
then it's
dude.
also got the lanyard, that big fancy lanyard that goes with it too. And that's all together with the knives, the Mansaday, and the sativy, and the hat, and the shit. That is the giveaway price for the next time, and the concept knives bag. Okay,
I can't
so
believe you're giving
that's
all that away. I mean, you're giving everything in the kitchen sink.
no, that's kitchen sink goes when I do my 50K giveaway, which will be soon. My wife says it's got to happen soon because I want a lot of this stuff out of here. So we're gonna put a big table up in the other living room, and there's gonna be 12 winners, and we're gonna make 12 spots, and each spot's gonna have like a bin or something because that's how many
Wow.
things are gonna be per winner. There's gonna be 12 bins,
Oh my God.
12
You know
winners,
what?
and they each get a bin.
You know what? When you sort all that stuff out, I'm gonna come over and pick something out of each bin that I want, and then we'll go home with it. Okay? Because I know how much
Okay.
stuff you got in your house. You got so much stuff. Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of stuff that needs to go. The cabinets over there. Wow, there's those cabinets over there are cremated full, and then the ones above it, and the ones up here along here, and then the ones along here, and all this shit. And
Oh
then
my
I've got
God.
a huge rack over here of bins, and I've got a table crammed up over here with stuff, and yeah,
Damn,
baby.
bro.
And you haven't seen the two racks out in the other room, okay? And what's on the table out there next to the two racks on the other room, and what's in that closet there,
You know, you
and
know,
what's on that rack over there.
one of the things that most people don't realize about entrepreneurship is that you just created a job for yourself, is what entrepreneurship is, right?
Yeah, I didn't know I was doing that. God.
You know, at one point, this was the dream. And then you got your dream.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
What's that? Be careful what you wish for. Shit. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
man.
yeah. So put a comment down below this and Leon's version of this feed, and comments under both. Make sure you subscribe to us both
Right.
because we check when we pick a winner. Now I just go random number. If there's so many comments, his, mine, add them together, do a random thing, pick through, and we pick a winner randomly. Although this Colin, his name sounds familiar. I think he's probably a Patreon member or something because that name just sounds so familiar. But it's probably gonna be. There was only 46 comments on this last 44 comment, whatever. So I mean, I've got 66 Patreon guys. At least if every one of them would at least put a comment down, they'd probably lock it up every time. I don't know, but I'm just saying to the public, put a comment in, give a
Right.
little competition.
And that's the thing, like, because there's so few people commenting, you actually get a shot. It's not like there's like a few hundred people commenting, you know? So do yourself a favor and put a comment down there, and then you can get a chance to win all those knives. Else, I'm gonna drive you over to Lee's house and just take whatever I want, and then bring it back to Bombay.
I'm I'm gonna do a separate 50K giveaway for my Patreon group.
Nice.
Probably like first, second, and third though. 3 winners, not 12. But I'm gonna do a 1, 2, and 3 for them too. I mean, so
Yeah.
that if they don't win the public one, um, at least they have better odds of winning maybe the regular. Although I don't
I
know. I
mean,
mean, maybe I'll only have 30 comments in the public your 50K giveaway, and if so, then 12 of those 30 will win. Whatever.
I'm gonna comment myself in there so I can be one of the 12 winners. You
I
know.
don't care. I don't care. That'll be fine. Petrified fish. You know what? I was just looking at this knife.
Uh-huh.
Okay, look at this. This is so weird because I mean I just got it the other day, and it is a huge. Not, I mean it is a big knife. It's like 9 inches, or close to nine
Is
inches
that a
long.
4 inch
Okay,
blade?
no,
It's like
uh,
3.98 or something, 3.9.
yeah, about yeah. But look at this knife. Does this look familiar to you?
I think that looks very familiar. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
yeah.
This is the binary from
Yeah.
Utectic.
Holy
These
moly.
knives.
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you.
I was looking at this when I got this, and I go, "This looks like something." I love the design of it, and all this blah 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 blah. Here it comes, and I go, "It looks like something." Now look at this little fuller. Look at this little fuller.
Good man.
Okay, jumping on top of the blade, jumping on top of the blade. Look at the handle shape.
Yeah, but they have a bird beak pommel. I'll tell you what, the binary has better blade to handle ratio.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's really really close to being able to touch it. Yeah, it it does have some. Yeah, but maybe a 16th. But this is interesting. I mean, this is I don't know what the fuck it costs. I really don't know right now off the top of my head. I don't know if I've pulled the info on this yet, but I've only had it a couple days. But I just thought I know it looks. You know what else it looks like? It looks like. Ah, come here. Ah, you know what? I think it looks like the Protect Mordax, don't you? Hold on, I got this. This was loose when I bought it, and I think it has scratches.
Well, it looks more
Kind of.
like that than it does the binary. Yeah, it's a wider version. Yeah, it's
The
wider.
handle.
Yeah.
I think it looks a lot like it, don't you? That's when I got this idea. I know I like the design of this so nicely. The blade's different,
Yeah.
and the Mordax doesn't have the little fuller thing. And the blade's all different, and the choil's a little different on here than here. But I mean, just the back of the knives looks so different. I mean, it looks so much the same. The whole shape of the handle looks so close. And so, but you know, and then this and the and Eutectic in a way, yeah, no, they now they're getting further apart. Yeah, this is maybe closer to this actually.
Yeah, it's more
Yeah,
closer to the
yeah, it
Mordax,
is.
except the front of the blade is more drop on the
And that's
petrified
what
fish one.
struck me. It was like this is kind of like a monster non-button action Mordax. This would be cool as an inverted liner lock button thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it'd be a button lock, but it would be inverted liner with the
Right.
button.
Right.
That would be way cool. This is truly, yeah, an interference with the plunger. Yeah, so it's traditional button. But this was so interesting. And then don't forget that Bag Knives has now got the micro burst out,
Nice.
which is a JVO design, and then also Olson, which is he's a custom knife maker, and they
Hmm.
worked on designs together. But Olson did this little, supposedly, he came up with this years ago, this little flipper type idea, which just kind of right around the horn there. But the microburst is cool. It's kind of a chunky, but you can actually get all your fingers on it.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
this is interesting. And so I just thought I'd throw that out there too. Throw it out.
Throw it out there.
So I threw it out. So there you go. And I'll be talking about the binary because I've never done a review on the binary, and
Oh,
I've kept
oh
putting it
my
off and
God.
putting it off.
Oh my God.
But I've got the binary, and of course the other U tactic, and the EFD. But the Trinity is nice, and you got the EFD. I got the binary and the Trinity. So, and I like the EFD. It's just this one is bigger and a little lighter, actually. And this one is definitely bigger. And it's just, crazy bull in the China shop big. But it's not that heavy. It's pretty easy to carry, too. Who
Yep.
was it? Gabe? Yeah, Gabe got one, and he was showing it on either his Instagram. I think he DM'd me with his thing, and he goes, "I finally got one," and I was really wondering if I was gonna like it or not. But he does. He likes the binary,
Oh,
and
thank
yeah, I
God.
do too.
Yeah. Yeah. Gabe, I met Gabe at a Blade West that was in
Uh,
Long Beach County, right?
well, I
Because
can imagine he lives out in Cali. Yes.
yeah, so like he was working, I think, for Kansas or something or Kaiser, and he came over to talk to me.
Uh, Probably to help him with their. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and ever since he has supported my work, he has always like bought my knives and everything, and post pictures about my knives, and never asked for anything. Always very supportive, and so I can't I it just makes me so happy that he likes something of mine. You know,
I just wished he
so
lived close to me because he's an HVAC guy.
yes,
So if my
we
air conditioning went
all
out,
wish,
it's like.
yeah, yeah. Whenever someone says they do like some kind of construction, I'm like, do you live near Palm Bay, Florida?
I need new windows installed. If I buy the windows, we install them for free. I'll
Oh,
tell you what. I'll even give you my GTR from Riyadh. I'll give you this to you if you
oh,
install all
no,
18 of my
no.
windows. Okay, but this is good. This is good.
Nice.
This is probably one of the best things Riyadh's done recently because they ain't got time to do knives for themselves. They don't have time. They're doing everybody else's freaking
Well,
knives.
the thing is, they
This
have
is really
been,
good.
there's been so much demand for the EXO, like the EXO series,
Oh God. Yeah,
and
and see, I burned out on the EXO pretty quickly. Yeah, and the EXO utility is okay. It's okay, but it's still just like an EXO. It's a gravity knife type thing.
right,
This is real stuff, and this is like running with the devil, like running with Reich and people like that. That Riot really excels at doing really well, and this is the kind of stuff that I can get excited about. And yeah, this is good. It's
yeah.
been so long,
Is
you
it too
know?
big? Is it too big for you?
Oh hell no. But it's just the right size. It is. I don't need it any bigger, but it's nice. It is just.
I think
Yeah.
you should ask them to make you a 5 or 6 inch version, 5 or 6 inch blade version. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. 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 I got the bigger version. I got this one.
Oh my God.
that's from Midgards. I'm
Oh
never
my
giving this
goodness.
one up. I'm never gonna give this one up. This is
You say that
screw.
now. You say that now, Lee. You know. Yeah.
Ugh. You want a real knife? Well, do you, punk? That's a knife.
And
That's
that's
a
a
knife.
liner lock, right?
Oh yeah. And so you know what? Never open this knife and lock it open without using this to lock it open. Okay, put that bolt in there. Never put your hands across that lock with a liner lock. This is a effing monster, and I've seen people wave it around and not have the bolt in there. I know it's a liner lock, but Good God Almighty! It will take your entire all fingers off. Just nothing, nothing. This knife, you can swing it and you can cut a coconut clean in half. Okay, easy, easy. I mean, so put your bolt in, save yourself a lot of anguish, you know,
Yeah.
because like my dad used to kid, if you lose all your if all your fingers get cut off, you kind of lost your touch. So
Your dad was a funny
he
guy.
lost his touch. So yeah, and screw it all the way in. There you go. Now it's time to play ball, bitch. Tell me one. Yeah, this was fun, and we were drunk as shit over at Sean's over in Coral Gable. But I mean, Cape
You,
Coral, not
you
Coral
gotta
Gable,
message
Cape Coral.
him. If you have any coconuts, bring it my way because I love coconut water.
And he's like, I don't want them. I don't want them. My tree drops coconuts. I just throw them out on the collection side, on the trash for the pickup trash to take them away. There's a lot of food in this. Well, actually, in the USA, that gets thrown out. Pomegranates, peaches, apples, pears. All kinds of citrus, all
Right.
kinds of nuts and stuff that are
Yeah.
pecans, walnuts, and food. That's I mean, you could live if you just have the free stuff that falls out of trees, mangoes,
Yep.
everything. Oh
Yep.
my God.
Yep.
It's just amazing to me. But that's a knife. It's a little bit bigger than the Riot.
Just a hair bigger, right? I mean, that edge is
So
just like a
I'm
hair
going to
longer.
China. I'm going to take this to China with me. I'm going to walk down the street like this. Hey, you
Dude.
bitches.
Oh my God. You'll
And
have
I'm going to
like,
have my MAGA hat on. Oh, shit. Come here. I'm going to have this motherfucker on, too. There you go. Now, guess what? I'm in town. And I'm the new sheriff around here. That's right. And how far do you think I'd get? Like about 3 steps?
President that God
dude, I love this pen, dude. I love this pen. This pen is never gonna get used. Yeah.
This will be my cover photo for this podcast.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
There
Got this.
you go, just like this.
Yeah.
This
Oh
is
my
so
God.
much fun. I can't imagine ever getting rid of this. And it's sharp too, actually. Wow, shit. Okay. Wow.
I'll feel
That's
a lot
just,
better if I was using that and that was a fixed blade.
oh, shit. Yeah. If it was like a triad lock, I'd have a lot more, there you go. But you know what? I think bottom line is I think you need this anyhow, which
Well,
doesn't make it very fidgety.
that bolt through it makes it a fixed blade, right? Because that basically is I mean, to be able to steer through 2 pins, you will need an
Oh yeah.
incredible amount of force.
Like
You will need like so much force. It would the blade would break off first before anything.
it might. I mean, either that or it'll warp the aluminum handle, completely destroy the inner work. I mean, it won't break the bolt. It'll just
Yeah, I mean
destroy the material around it or
that
whatever.
has a steel liner on both sides, right?
Yeah, it does. The one here is nested, and then you have the one that's the lock bar thing, and that's nested too. So yeah, you got steel, then you got aluminum.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's just
they did the aluminum for weight.
I would just creep me out to see somebody fail this and it swings down onto their.
Oh my God. Oh my! I do not even want to imagine that.
Oh God! Oh my God! Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about because I've been cut. I've been cut bad, and I'll tell you what. No, 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 no. I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
it
thank
creeps
you.
me out. And then the doctor, I mean, if you're gonna do it big time. I mean, cut the shit out of yourself. Get through the tendons, the muscles, get it to the bone. And then the doctor at the ER, like the one who sewed me up, goes, "That's impressive. That's impressive. Let me get the tourniquet to stop the bleeding so I can even see what I'm trying to sew up."
Oh
Holy
my
shit!
God. Wow. Ooh,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep. Okay, so we'll
So
do
you got,
Asian part two next time.
so you know what? You guys for watching this. We really appreciate you guys watching this. But comment so you have a chance to win. And if there's only like 40 of you commenting, that's a better chance than most podcasts have. And you got some prizes in there. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, my wife, she's like, what are you doing?" I go, I mean, I can't hold all this stuff all the time. And every time I go to a show, I get, I get all kinds of swag and stuff. And then from friends who get swag and it
Yeah.
piles up in their closets, they go, here's my swag and like an extra knife I got or
Here's
something,
my
and
flag. Thank
just
you.
give it away. So
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, people end up with stuff and they go, and then, but the people who win it, it's new to them, and it's stuff like they may have like a cousin or somebody who just wants a pocket knife or whatever, and
Right.
there's nothing wrong with these knives. They're definitely usable and they're brand new, and so. And maybe a shopping bag. I mean, one of those tote bags that says Cansep. You can put, a 6 pack of beer in there and a couple little ice packs and tote it or whatever. I mean,
There you
shit, I
go.
don't
You
know.
got to figure out what to do with those bags, man.
Concept. It's a great concept. People do call concept. I call it concept. Is it concept or concept?
I would say that it's concept because it's spelled out concept, right? I mean,
Okay,
I
yeah.
would think that they spelled it that way because they will want people to think that it's concept, but it's spelled concept, you know?
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it's supposed to. I've just always said
Concept.
concept. I don't know. Maybe I heard it somewhere or something. I don't know. Now I'm stuck on it.
It's probably someone thinking the same lines that we're thinking. That's all. You
Okay,
know?
hold on. Oh shit! It's 5 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
You know what time it is, then, senor? We need
Oh,
cerveza
oh my God.
masina. Okay, so yeah, we're headed.
Is it
The
that time of
blue
day, my friend? Is it
just
that
ain't
time of
gonna
day?
do. No, now my silver bullet cans, they do. The mountains turns blue when it's cold, and
Yeah.
that's the only kind of blue I'm gonna do. You can bet on that. Really cold, really cold. So
Man.
okay, and I don't think Roseanne's gonna have a drink for like 2 weeks now. Holy crap! Oh,
Really?
she's just drinking those rum drinks under the tiki hut, and then the heat, and then she switched over to beer, and then she was drinking the mango something beer later, and then we went in to go to the room. I thought we stopped at the bar in there, and she hit something different there too, and a heavier, weirder, higher alcohol content beer. And I thought, I'm going. I got to get her to the room because I don't know. I don't think I don't want to do a fireman's carry or something. Good Lord, she piled
Oh
it
my
on,
God.
and the next morning she was like, "Okay, that's enough." That's enough. And I know she won't touch a drop now for at least a week or so.
Oh my
Shit.
God. But not you.
Uh,
Not you.
no, me? Shit. I mean, shake that off, but I mean, no, I mean, I had to wait till the next day at least 6.
Oh,
Well,
really?
and I was talking to you last night. Yeah.
That's right.
So yeah,
That's
it
right.
was the night I got home. Yeah. So, yeah.
You know, we had to
But
plan our
today,
master plan to take over the world.
because we are the new evil overlords. So,
Right.
yeah, I hope those globalists, I hope they feel the fear because we're coming. We're gonna take it all over with our brain power and our money and resources. We're likely to get to the outskirts of Lake Placid
I think
before
we
we get
can go
some.
buy ourselves dinner. That's about it.
Barely, barely. Only I just hope there's some knife enthusiasts at the watering hole up there. And
Nice.
yeah, no shit, because the coupon for the birthday thing for poor Roseanne is like $15, and she goes, "That'll get you two drinks in that high dollar tiki area. We get into the restaurant, shit, we're done. It'll be $120." And I go, "But it's your birthday, darling." So
So
no,
she's the sensible one who's gonna stick to the budget, and you're like, spend the money, spend the
yeah, yeah,
money. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I know. It's like go big or go home, and go broke right afterwards. Yeah, go broke right afterwards. So yeah, we're gonna have a big giveaway. Hopefully, we'll get a lot of new subs, and I don't know, maybe some new Patreon members. There's
yeah.
benefits.
Remember, yeah.
Benefits. Sign up. What are you crazy? You crazy people. I mean, you can sell your knives on my site. I can give you a free, none of my 10% fee, okay, for two knives per month. So send me a couple of $300 knives. That's $60. You're saving. You paid me 10. I'm paying you 60. You win by $50.
Yeah.
I mean, all my Patreons take care of this. They take advantage of it. It seems like everybody else is like, I can't do that, man. But I've got a lot of non-Patreon. Most of the people who sell on my site are not Patreon members. It's
Wow.
like I'm figuring up their reconciliation at the end of the month and going, they could have enough money to buy a couple of dirty 30s. Like they just gave it to me, and I thank them for it. I thank them for it.
Hey man,
So yeah,
anybody willing to send you money, thank them. You know what? That's a great thing. That's
I
a
love
great
it.
thing. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so I only got so many Patreon members, and I'm not really increasing. I don't really gain many. I mean, I might lose one, I'll gain one, but stay about steady. But I would have thought that there's so many people wanting to sell knives that they would make that connection and know that if they were a $10 member, they're going to save money. They won't lose money. The worst they would do is at least break even with the $10 they're paying me a month.
You
But
know what? Keep that to yourself. Make that $50.
yeah, I know. You know what? I never talk about my Patreon group, and you know what? That's probably why it's not growing
Yeah.
because I don't talk about it. I don't market. I'm not a good marketing person. I
You
suck
know
at it.
what? You gotta sell that every day, Lee. You gotta sell it every day. You know?
Yeah, I mean, and I just naturally kind of sell things because I like what I put on my channel to do videos of. I always find something interesting, and so it's not like I force myself. You know, I just put it on and I go. I don't care if anybody buys it. I technically I have affiliate links and stuff. I can't remember last time I ever got any money from any of that. So I mean, I usually forget about it, and I don't even care, really, to tell you the truth. And
Mm.
it's more trouble and it's work. And so I just do it,
Yeah.
And well, at least I got the knife, and so I got a knife out of it. And hey,
Yeah.
I'm having fun and whatever.
That's great. I mean, the thing is, we all have to remember to have fun, right?
Yeah,
Because if
yeah,
you don't, if you're not having fun doing what you're doing, and it just becomes another job, you know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and no matter how happy you are in the beginning, if it just becomes a job, you don't want to do it anymore, you know. And that's
That's
it.
right.
I see you carry that spectacle everywhere you go, man. You love that knife.
It is lightweight. This is Magna Cat, and I'll tell you what. Let me feel this. it's still freaking ass sharp. I
Nice.
don't know. You know what? I need to take this blade off and send it in and get it tested in one of my future test batches. As much as I don't want to take a spider coat knife apart, but I ought to. I mean, I don't think this thing's probably over 50 or 62 to 63, but I don't know why it's holding an edge so. But I mean, on the other hand, my PM2 in what is it? Shit, it's gray. It's max. What do they call that?
Maximet? Is it Maximet?
Yeah, Maximet. Man, it's beat up. Looks like dog shit. It's been dragged around for years. I don't remember the last time I sharpened it. I use it
Well,
all the time. Oh, it's back here. Because that's
Maximet
where
is
I check in
supposedly
knives. That's where I
pretty
check in
hard.
knives. Look at it. Look at it. It looks like dog shit. I mean, it's discolored
Well,
because
because
it's not
it's a high
stainless.
carbon steel, so
Yeah,
it's
I
not
know.
yeah.
And it's got little dots of a little bit of surface corrosion and stuff. And I mean, that's not as sharp as my other one. I mean, I can't. I don't know how many boxes I've cut with this son of a bitch, but it's still not bad. It hasn't hit butter knife status. When it does, I'll be forced like a dog to get my system on and do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay, but it's not great. Yeah, it's okay, but it's not great. But this is hot crazy, still hot crazy. So I mean, I kind of have a certain rotation of shit that's laying around the house,
Right.
whatever it is. I mean, there's one little bastard that I've really, this little CJRB button lock, and it's even worse than both of the spider coats. It's not good at all, and it's got shit on the. Oh god, that is a
Ah,
mess.
man.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! Oh my god. Just whatever, whatever.
Eh.
I gotta go. I gotta get the hell out of here. But don't forget to get the result. The
Oh,
result. The LTK
oh yeah.
result.
LCK result. Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna pull my old Vandals because I sent three of my Vandals to Naftastic and had him put fat carbon inlays in them. Oh, they're beautiful. They're beautiful.
I
I'll
saw
pull
that
them in a
post.
second.
I saw that post you
Yes,
put it
I
on.
did
Yeah.
it
Yeah, it
on my
looks great.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Wow.
Man.
Those are big dogs. Those are big knives. Yeah. Those are full 9-inch knives. They're big. They're like this. They're big. They're dogs.
Mm.
Oh, big. Yeah. They look
Nice.
really good with those. Yeah, with that carbon stuff in them.
Cool.
Uh, time to get the hell out of here.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for watching and comment for the giveaway. So yeah, man. Until the next one.
Until the next one.
Until the next one. We might have another guest for the next one.
Yes, we might. I've been meaning to get Eric Hansen on too with Phobos Knives. So that has not come around, and I've slacked on it this time because I didn't expect I was going to do a podcast right now. And if I do one, I might just do him and me because I want to hear about his what he can talk about that he did with special forces because I've heard some of his stories and they're just funny as shit or terrifying as shit. But I think it would be interesting. And then just to feature his knives, and I got the knives over here. Surprisingly enough, I actually own knives. So
Yeah,
yes.
you own that. Oh my God.
But yeah, I mean, I'll throw him into an odd one. There won't be a giveaway or anything. The prize will be getting him on and talking about how he morphed into doing Phobos and the knives themselves and everything. So,
Nice.
um, but yeah, next time we got to get either Wes or Sean or We could get Big Red EDC. We could get Frank. We could get, God only knows. I mean, shit.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of people that'd like to be on.
that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Okay,
All right, guys. Until the next one, stay sharp.
exactly. I was going to say that. You stole my line. And take care.
Take care.